the I'm a Fan of podcast, music, comedy, and more.
Paul Schalda.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Dude, actually, we were going off talking about records and stuff already, man.
Yes,
I had to
sir.
stop you and say, let's get in on it.
Yes. If we must.
Well, first of all, I want to get it out of the way. I love the record.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
And then second of all, after I looked at the record and read a little bit about your history, then I realized how ignorant I was to how much you've been in this music game. So it's like when you find a great movie and you realize the director's been doing it for a while and you got all these other movies to go watch. And other people are like, yeah, they're great movies. You haven't seen them? So,
Yeah. No.
but
been
all
in
that
for
to
a
say,
minute.
man, I'm really happy to hear the new album, but then to go check out the other projects.
Oh, cool, man. Thanks for checking it
the stuff
out.
with your brothers and your dad. I haven't got to really
Yeah.
dive in on any of that because I've been soaked in on lately right
Yeah.
now. But,
yeah, man. Cool.
Yeah. So,
I
geez,
appreciate
man.
you going back and checking all the other stuff out, man.
I'm excited
I
to
really
go
do.
deeper. It's just going to take me like 6 months to get through it all.
Yeah,
You know?
stop at like 1999.
No, man, I'm gonna go deep. The problem is I don't like to just flip through the songs. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I really
no,
want to
of
listen
course.
to them.
I appreciate that.
Which kind of brings me, especially with your late. This is your latest release, right? I know you got other
Yes, sir.
projects, but this
no,
is the latest
this
thing.
is it. Yeah,
this is it right now.
This
Okay,
is it, yeah.
yeah, man, for a record that initially sounds, and I mean this is a compliment, like an easy listen. It feels so much deeper every time I listen to it. You know, the songwriting, like there's these layers I keep unfolding each time I walk the dog or go for a drive or
Nice.
something and listen to it. There's a little piece I pick up extra because, it's easy to go for the like the upbeat tracks at first.
Sure. Sure.
But then as you start getting into little, lately, for instance, and then like, what's the opening track?
Alarmist.
Alarmist, yeah.
Alarmist, yeah.
Then I find myself trying to figure out, like, what's the meaning of this? What's this guy going
Yeah,
for?
yeah, that's the point.
Okay, fair enough.
That's the point.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that people will take from it whatever it is they need to take from it. You know, I come from a time where, they didn't really. I don't think they were really providing lyrics, in those 90s early bands where it was more about the feel. And, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Like sometimes I don't like telling people the lyrics or putting out the lyrics because, when I grew up listening to stuff, I might have made up some words that weren't really the words to it, but they meant something to me.
Mm-hmm.
And once you start telling people the meanings of these songs, it might shift what it was for people at the time. And I don't like doing that. I don't want to do that. And so I like keeping it kind of open for interpretation. Some things are very straightforward, and some things just you kind of let the listeners go, okay, this is what I'm going to make of it.
Yeah.
This is what it means to me. This is how
Yeah.
I connect to this.
I go back and forth on which version I really like. 'Cause
Yeah.
sometimes you really want to know what was in the head of the person who wrote it.
Yeah.
But then you get the story and you're
Yeah.
like, well, that's not what I expected.
Right. Right. You could be totally disappointed in it not having a deeper meaning.
You know who did that a couple years ago? Are you familiar with Sturgill Simpson?
I had heard so. I know he's a famous.
Yeah.
He's a country guy. Is he a country guy? Kind of.
Man, he's a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything? Okay.
Depending on which album you grab, he's a country guy.
Okay.
He's a bluegrass guy.
Okay.
He's a like psych 80s rock guy.
Oh, okay.
And then he recently released a new album only on like vinyl and cassette, I think. And
that's nice.
he did it under his alter ego Johnny Blue Skies. And
Oh,
it's something
I
like
heard something
Massacre
like
After Midnight or something like that. I can't remember.
I had heard.
So I'm
about
looking to check.
this.
It looks like it might be some kind of disco feel. I don't really know.
Oh, cool.
But anyway, he covered a Nirvana song on one of those albums, in Bloom. And his whole life, he had a couple of the lyrics wrong.
Yes.
And he just recorded it that way.
Yes.
Anyway, because
That's
he's like, well,
wonderful.
this is just how it is to me.
I'm
you know?
a big fan of that. That is kind of how I grew up with stuff. So it's like I don't want to take that away from people.
What do
you
do you remember some of the songs that you had wrong, but you just like them that way anyway?
Oh, I mean,
For yourself.
Geez Louise.
Where you found out the lyrics?
I mean, there's tons of early 90s indie rock and even just some of the Nirvana stuff and the Pearl Jam stuff when it came out in like 1991. Jane's Addiction stuff. like all of like because that was kind of my wheelhouse of like 7th grade, 8th grade.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
where
yeah.
It was like, oh, this is really moving. And then there's tons of like hardcore stuff where it's like Minor Threat and Fugazi and Black Flag. Black Flag was a little more, you could understand what he was saying a bit more. Minor Threat a little less. Mm-hmm. And so I really enjoyed having that for myself. And having it be what it was going to be for me. And then, there's tons of it where they, you completely relate to the lyrics and they are the right lyrics. Mm-hmm. And so, but you can go back, I'm sure, to all tons of classic rock, right? That we can probably say, hey, we didn't really know what they were saying.
Oh yeah. All the controversy, people arguing. Something even as popular as like Elton John. Just arguing over the lyrics of what is it, Rocket Man?
Sure.
Where I think they put out a commercial for something where people were, it's everyone's wrong lyric, but
sure. And I mean Michael Jackson with the Mama Say Mama Sama Mako Say. I mean, but which turns out I think he did, that was a real lyric, right? Like someone at some point it was like, this is what he's saying, and it seemed to make a lot of sense. But for me, I still stay with Mama Say Mama Sama Mako Say. Like that
pop culture stuff like that.
Right.
So that one in particular, I don't even know anymore because my whole reference to that pop culture part got morphed when I was at a comedy show for this guy named Tom Rhodes.
Okay.
And he had a bit right after Michael Jackson had passed that he was doing.
Okay.
And when he was telling the bit, it was about the lyrics in that song.
Okay.
And how he thought, like, I'm going to be famous and, like, I'm going to meet him and I'm going to finally be able to say, like, what were you talking about?
Right, right.
But then a person in the crowd who was a huge Michael Jackson fan, too drunk, and was probably usually an annoying person in everyday life, started heckling like, that's inappropriate. And he was like, well, all my peers are doing like jokes about his controversies.
Right.
I'm up here talking about how I like the song. And then it turned into this weird whole club sing-along.
Oh, cool.
And then she got brought back onto his side. We're all happy. The comedy show's weird. But then he lost her again somehow, and she stormed out. And then people started singing again. And so I mean, that song is now forever etched in my mind with Tom Rhodes and that experience.
It's I mean, beyond it being a phenomenal song, like that section of the song, like if you don't feel something when that happens, like I don't think you're really alive. Like it's one of those things where you should be getting those chills and the hair standing up on your.
Yeah, I've hit this point now where as much as I dislike social media, now I'm seeing all of these live performances of all these artists like that when you were living through, even you were talking about like the 90s movement of all that great indie rock, you're talking about these punk rock bands. Well, you had to have been familiar with like Operation Ivy and Rancid. Yeah.
Operation Ivy was wonderful.
There you go.
Loved Operation.
There you go.
I didn't really do the Rancid thing. I think I fell off by then. I was in a different thing, but Operation Ivy, absolutely.
But even with Operation Ivy, it's like every now and then like a weird video will show up of some live show that they did, even though they were only around for like 2 years or something.
Yeah.
And then there's clips of like Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, and when you just go like, I don't think I was mature enough as a kid listening to this to appreciate like just the talent that's coming out.
Yeah,
the
songwriting.
Like personal stuff aside, just music and ability. Where you're just like, I don't know that we have many performers like that anymore.
No, it was just but I think we were aware enough, like we felt it. Mm-hmm. We just weren't really like aware of like, oh my God, the time that he put in the studio and how. Like that side of it, like you weren't really thinking about that. It was just like, oh my God, I know the way that this makes me feel, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I came across some old videos where Prince was doing rehearsals. I don't know what he was rehearsing for, but you just saw him kind of have that like James Brown strictness of like, we got to tighten. And even in his rehearsal, he's going 110% himself to make sure every cue is exactly what he wants. And God, that commitment. That's
a professional. It's a performer. I don't know if we have like you said, I don't know if there's a lot of, I guess there's some performers out there for sure. There's performers.
You hope, right?
Right. I don't know if there's the mix, the same kind of like really great mix of like, wow, that's a tremendous musician and that person knows how to perform, because you could, it's hard to do both. You could be like a really great artist, and then they're just like, I'm not putting the work into like putting on this show for somebody right now because this is what I'm focused on.
Yeah, and I don't think it's I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's as cool anymore to go like, yeah, I'm a great singer, but I need to spend hours and hours and hours to learn how to dance and choreograph. So
right?
Like, you know, because it's such a hard skill. You think, well, I'm a great songwriter, I'm a great singer.
Right.
That should be enough.
Should be enough.
And it's like, well, if you're in popular music where you're going to be an entertainer, that might not be enough.
Yeah.
You know, and it couldn't hurt if you're going to, like I said, if you're going to be in like strictly pop music, at least.
Yeah.
It's really something to consider, you know, because people are going to come to your concerts for a show.
For a show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, my daughter's like that stuff, like where it's like, oh, okay, like maybe Billie Eilish would be somebody like that. I don't know if she doesn't seem like the type of person who puts in the time for the performance side of it. You know, but songs are crafted really well, poppy and really well. Maybe Benson Boone would be somebody.
There you go.
like
but he gets a lot of hate.
Maybe he'll be
Even though the dude's flipping off pianos and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, you're right. I'll give him the performer thing.
You know, he does the performer thing.
Yeah, if you do the weird side flip on stage.
Now, I'm not a tremendous fan of his songs.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I could see where that's a pop thing where he's perform, like he does perform.
I think the two last biggest ones that come to mind would be like Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars.
Sure, Bruno Mars. Yeah, Bruno Mars.
Where
man.
you feel like if you go, there's going to be a show.
I see that
show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah.
Well, I mean, talking about that, what kind of show do you like to put on? I haven't got to experience your live show yet.
Oh, I don't really. I don't think about it much.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy it. I have so much fun doing it, but I don't think about it more than just like who do we have to be able to play tonight.
Well, but what kind of show do you like to like when you think of your ideal space, crowd, setup, where you go like, man, I feel like this is where I'm going to put out the best live performance? Because every venue's different, you know.
Yeah, no, I like it all. You know, like we've done the last couple of shows where we didn't have drummer wasn't available, so it was really stripped back and intimate, and I really enjoyed that. And then we've had some shows as well where we had the full crew, and it sounds really great. Anytime that I don't have to play the guitar is my favorite.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like playing. I'm not a good guitarist. Like,
weren't you traveling with Mr. Charles Bradley?
I was.
Well, you have to be a decent guitarist.
I think they'd shut my mic off. I think my guitar was off. I was just there to sing backing vocals as best as I could, and I did some chanks and stuff. But
are you playing guitar on the album?
I am not playing the guitar on the album. I wrote it all on guitar.
Oh, okay.
I wrote the album on guitar, and then I brought in a really, really good guitarist, Robert Ellis, to come like play the guitar.
Yeah,
like play.
Well, he
guitar.
did great.
He's fantastic.
Sounds awesome. I was sold thinking you were this phenomenal guitar player.
I am not. Far from it. Far from it.
Well, that's okay if you know your lane, right? If you know you like to just write the songs and sing.
I love singing. Like that's what I grew up doing. I was doing doo-wop stuff with my father. We were doing harmonies with me and my pop and my two brothers.
And for people who don't know, like, give me the quick education on the family band.
So that came about after Charles.
Because it's your father who started the band, right?
Yeah. Well, he didn't like me and Tommy kind of pushed him to do this thing.
Okay.
So Tommy and I were working on one of my solo records, and at that time I had always had my father and my brother playing along with me. You know what I mean? My father would sing and play some harmonica, and my brother would play piano and sing. So we'd always have these 3-part harmonies going on for some of my older records back in like the early aughts and stuff like that. And Tommy had heard the three of us singing and was like, man, I got this Charles Bradley song I want you guys to come in and sing on. So we came in and we sang on that, which is a song called Victim of Love on his second record called Victim of Love. And he was like, man, your father's an old school doo-wop guy.
I'm just going to push this closer.
I'm sorry, yeah.
No, you're good, you're good.
He's like, your father's an old school doo-wop guy. Like, we should do a doo-wop record. And I was like, man, I would love that. Pop is really right now into like the blues. And we were both like, man, Pop's not a blues guy. He's a mutual funds lawyer. Like like no one's gonna buy that he's like suffering. Like let's hone in on his doo-wop stuff. His voice is gorgeous, and so we started doing that. But all my life I grew up just singing, and so I was singing. The first band I was ever in 1993. I was just singing. It was like a hardcore band from Staten Island, New York, and it wasn't until I wanted to just start writing my own songs. I was like, oh, I guess I got to pick up the guitar, because I was always singing over other people's songs. And I was like, I want to kind of just try and sing over my own thing. But it was really just accompaniment. Like, that's all it was. It was for the vocals. And eventually I was like, I started writing, and then I just ended up playing the guitar for a lot of these records. But I prefer not to be honest with you. Like I can really focus in on the vocals, and that for me is the best time that I have doing it.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. Like it's a lot of fun. Like I have the best time ever. Like performing now that I get to just sing. Like it's
awesome.
It's really nice. It is. But every now and then, if I can't find someone, I'll go up there with the guitar and do it. You know, with just me and the acoustic.
I like how you look irritated now. You're like, if I have to do it,
if I do, I will.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I don't hate it. It's just I know the difference. I know the difference of the way I can sing when I don't have it in my hand and I don't have to focus on. I'm hitting these chords and I'm playing these chords, and then I'm hitting these melodies and these timings and these phrasings exactly the way I want to be hitting them.
Yeah.
So
because you do have enough nuance in your singing that it matters if you're paying attention to playing guitar also.
It does. It does for me. And so I've had a great time doing it, but yeah, there's no rhyme or reason. I just am lucky to do it, and I will do it whenever I can do it.
Yeah.
You know, so whatever format of the group that I could do it in. Yeah.
So the singing started though with just growing up, just
started
singing songs?
young. Yeah, pop.
Was it just car rides and stuff?
Exactly, man. It was me, and I have an older brother who's 2 years older than me, and a younger brother who's 2 years younger than me, and the three of us would be in the back seat of the car.
I'm a fellow middle child as well.
Are you?
Yeah.
Nice. And so Pop would, I think it was his way of just getting us to not argue or to just kind of be quiet in a way where it was like somewhat melodic, the things we were screaming about. So he would put on songs, and he was amazing. His vocals are phenomenal, and his
father's?
Yeah, and his harmonies are really, really, really special. And so he was always able to just tell us like, all right, that's your part, that's your part, that's your part. And eventually, you know, I'm sure we didn't get it right away. I can't recall exactly when it started. That's just what I remember. But eventually we had it where, we were doing it. And then it kind of went away. You know what I mean? It goes away and you get older, and it was done, and he was working, and he worked his ass off to go to Brooklyn Law School at night while we were in school, and we just stopped doing that. And then eventually my older brother started playing in bands when he was in high school, and he got me involved, but Pop didn't have anything to do with that, you know. And my younger brother, Carmine, he wasn't really involved in it. He was more doing sports and stuff. And it wasn't until we started doing that what I just told you about me and Tommy working on that record that we brought Carmine in, and we were like, yo, you got to sing on this record. It's going to be a family band thing. So that's kind of how I started singing. And so...
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
You jumped over real quick about this going to night school for law school.
Yeah.
How old is he when he's doing that?
Man, he fucking hustled, man.
Was that like
hustled? So
late 20s, 30s, later?
No, so I was 6 or 8, and he was 40.
Damn, that's crazy.
He was 40. He worked his 9 to 5. He would hop on the train to Staten Island at 2 hours to get into Manhattan to go work a 9 to 5, and then he'd go to Brooklyn Law from about 5:30 to about 9:30. Wouldn't get home till about 11:30. He did this for 4 years.
Jeez.
4 years he did this. Like, we hardly saw him, but he was hustling, and Mom was holding down the fort with my grandmother and my grandfather. They took us in. We were there.
Was she working too, or was she able to stay home at least?
She was doing all the work.
Please.
She had to, right? She was doing all the work. Pop had the easy gig, you know, getting to get out of the house and not pick up the kids and bring them to this after school activity, make sure all their homework was done, make sure they were somewhat washed and, and all clean and ready for school the next day. Nah, but he hustled. And
do you remember what job he had while he was going to school? Like
what was
a career that made him want to get out?
It was in the same company.
Okay.
So it was in this like mutual funds company called Dreyfus in New York City, and I think, I don't know, I know they didn't pay for the law school, but I think he felt comfortable enough where he would have an in if he did finish law school with the company.
Yeah.
So, and he had been working there for many years up until then. So, but yeah, that's what he did, man. He hustled. Man.
Something about that generation, because my dad, we were here in Texas, but situation was a little different. Actually, it was right before my parents divorced, but he'd always just kind of had jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I guess something finally got him. He finally got motivated. We weren't like, I don't want to have this sob story like we were poor.
Right.
We had what we needed, but there wasn't really much after that. And so, not a lot of money or anything going around. And they did some math where, he realized like if he works at this company, he can make this much money, but then we're going to spend all this money on daycare and things like that. So instead, he got a job at our school as like the school bus driver and the janitor. So making way less money, but at least you're around.
He's around.
So we're like riding the bus in the morning for the full route.
Yeah.
Because he's like, come on, you're coming with me.
Yep.
Anyhow, but at 40, which is crazy to think because that's my age right now, it's like he decided to start in the elevator trade. We had a family member who was in the elevator business, and he was like, you can make good money eventually.
Yeah.
But at 40, he's coming in here and he's, at least 10 years older than these guys who are his boss, and he's having to like carry tools and carry up steps and
the
stuff.
Beginning of it.
Yeah. And just, eat shit essentially for a couple years, work your way up.
Yep.
And it ended up paying off huge in the end. He had this long career.
Nice.
He retired as an elevator guy.
Nice.
He had good union job working with a really good company here eventually. And, but just to think like those guys starting, like you started at 40.
Yeah.
And it's like here at 40, you're thinking like, did I make enough moves? And and it's like when I turned 40, I couldn't stop thinking about him. About like, so right here is when he started.
Yeah.
And it's like, God, it's so hard to comprehend that you could do that and then there's still enough time for it to pay off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then to hear another story like the exact same way, different state, different field. To just
you don't know when it's going to click. I mean, you could say the same thing for just like just in general, like the music stuff too, because like Charles, the guy I was playing with, Charles Bradley, man, he didn't get his break till he was 67. My father with the Schalda stuff, that stuff didn't happen. He gave all of that stuff up. And it came back to him when he was close to 70 years old.
It's crazy. And I was looking at it today, and it's like it has 1.4 monthly listeners right now on Spotify. 1.4 million people actively. This isn't like I just checked it out. And it's like and I mean this in a very polite way, like with respect, but it's like it's a nostalgic style of music written by a much older man where it should not be popular right now.
No.
And he found his corner, and it's like, that's incredible, man.
Yeah. I mean,
there's no timestamp on it, right?
There's not.
If it's good, it's good.
And you just don't know. You just don't know. And it's funny you say that because we were talking about it the other day, and it's like, I keep telling him like, you got to get out there and you got to go play. Like you should go play. And he's so adamant about like, I won't do this without all of my kids. And I'm like, I was like, you don't understand. I was like, I love that. I love you. I'm so grateful. I was like, but nobody, and I mean this, nobody wants to see us. They want to see you at 80 years old on that stage. Like, this is how it was with Charles Bradley. Like, I'm telling you, he could have had, and he did have, these tremendous musicians behind him. Not me included, but everybody else was fucking amazing. And honestly, they didn't need to be there. Like, everybody wanted to see Charles. I told people I could set myself on fucking fire on stage and not anybody would even look over to glance at me to see if I was okay or anything. They would just be locked on this man. And that is how it is with, at least I feel like that's how it is with pop. We were able to do a couple of shows last year.
Is he still up there in New York?
No, he's
where's
here.
He's here in Texas?
He's here.
Oh, okay.
I convinced him to come out here.
Okay.
I didn't convince him. I take that back. He liked it out here.
Yeah.
But he did come out to help me out with my kids and stuff. But so I tell him this. I'm like, man, you have to go and do this. Like, if I can't make it, because yes, I have kids and I have a job. Like, if Will can't make it, if Carmine can't make it, it doesn't matter, man. Like, these people, you have to give them that gift, like, of seeing you at 80 years old on stage doing your thing, man. Like, it's not, like, the window's not tremendous, man. Like, you know, and he he won't do it. He won't do it. So
here's the thing. Y'all gotta meet halfway, right? He's got to do some solo like that just to get out there.
Yeah.
But then y'all have got to make an effort where it's like, okay, once a year, or if we can pull it off twice a year even, let's do like a really big one. Because you say that they don't care, but the fans that like the music, they know the family ties to it.
Sure.
So they will be like, like, if I could see this 80-year-old man doing what he loves with his kids on stage, like, they do want to see that. So I think you got to find a way.
You're killing my argument here, man.
I know.
All right?
Look,
we're cutting this out of the interview because he's going to see that. No,
your argument is correct in the sense that,
of course,
he should not play just because you're not able to.
Right.
But we should also try to figure out, like, okay, how do we make sure we get at least a couple?
Yeah. No, we did.
You know,
We literally just got 6 shows.
Oh, that's
with,
perfect.
With all of us there.
Okay, so he's got no excuse then. He could do another 6 at least.
6 with all of us there.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work, man. Carmine's a mailman in New Jersey. Like, he's got 4 kids. Ooh. Like, it's not easy for him to get out. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, William, the same thing, man. He's busy in Los Angeles working. Like,
you guys are all over the country, man.
Yeah, and that's another thing where it's just like, and so it's hard. It's hard to get everyone together. But anyway, if
you're getting 6 shows,
it's exciting.
That's good.
Yeah, it's exciting. And honestly, there might be a special one coming up later this summer that I'm not allowed to talk about. But
that'll be awesome, man.
That will be fun.
Well, since he's here, are you pushing him into like the little local venues that we have here? We're here in East Dallas. Have y'all heard about? Surely you've heard about Balcony Club, right? I'll throw that to you. He might like that spot. It's literally across the street from here.
Yeah.
It's next to, we had this great theater called the Lakewood Theater.
Okay.
But you know, music venues are hard to keep open. It's historic. It's been there. Thankfully, somebody kept it open, but it's a bowling alley, which is it's fine.
Okay,
I'm glad they didn't tear down the building at least. And
right.
so I thank the people who own the bowling alley for that.
Okay.
And they didn't strip everything out. Like, the stage and everything is still there, and you're like bowling towards the stage. It's very interesting.
Okay.
So although I wish it was a concert, music venue again, I'm very thankful they didn't demolish it. But literally, you could come out of that concert and then walk right next door, walk up some stairs, and there's like a little kind of shotgun style club with a stage along the wall. Nice. But they do a ton of stuff. They have some great open mics. They have like jazz acts coming through there. But they're very deep music lovers. And my wife and I, one of the first times we went there, it was just a cover band there, but it was these dudes who are, you know, 50, 60, 70 in the band. And they're doing covers that are like kind of age appropriate to their generation and experience.
Yeah.
But it was incredible because it was also a lot of older fans in that same age bracket who came to watch them. And there's like not a cell phone in sight, man. It's people like taking a drink and then going and dancing. And like these were like music people who grew up in that era where like when you went to a bar, you were gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
And they all loved the music. And then you saw these people who'd been playing music, you know, for 30, 40 years. Yeah. So they're dialed in. It was just a good time.
That's nice.
And it was so unexpected, you know, but for a little kind of unsuspecting club, they are like deep music lovers over there. So maybe take them over there for drinks, see if it's his vibe.
I have found in my time in Dallas that the fans who come out to shows, just in general, the people who do go to shows are really, really appreciative. Like being from New York City all my life and going to shows out there and in that tri-state area and you know, it could be loud and, you know, people are there to do whatever. Even the people that you bring out to the show that were coming out to see you, you know, you start seeing friends and you socialize and stuff like that, even when the music's on. Out here, it's like, in my experience, people genuinely like want to listen to the music. Like when the music's on, it's pretty darn quiet and there are very little phones out and about and people are really engaged in watching the artist do it, whether they know them or don't know them, which is really cool. That's one thing about Dallas I feel like is is really, really nice with the people who do come out here. It's hard. It's a strange music scene. I won't lie. Like it's a weird music scene.
Go ahead. You're not going to hurt our feelings, but
okay.
Because I
okay.
You know, we all have our opinions here of what it's great at and what holds us back. But I want an outsider's opinion. You know,
I don't know what it is. I just have noticed that lots of bands skip over coming to Dallas for whatever reason. I don't know it exactly. I do know that it's really big, and I never understood why the Fort Worth people didn't get down with the Dallas people, and the Dallas people didn't get down with the Denton people. And it was just like, man, like, I don't get that, because there's so many amazing, tremendous, talented musicians. And if you just like kumbaya that shit, like the scene would be tremendous. But I guess it's because it's just so big. I come from a city where it did take 2 hours to get to, you know, the Lower East Side from Staten Island, you know, via public transportation or driving, or from Brooklyn to Queens. Sometimes and you're going 20 miles, maybe 15 miles, but it would take 2 hours sometimes. And here it's like, oh, if it's 35 minutes away, it's too far. And I'm just like, I don't understand that, like growing up where I grew up. But I guess it's 35 miles and I don't know, who am I to come into the town and say, hey, you guys should be friends. Like, you should make up or something. I don't know what happened.
It goes in waves, I've noticed.
Yeah.
I've only seen a couple, maybe like 3 kind of groups come through, I guess.
Okay.
Because, you know, it's like you get your, you have like your tastemakers and your show producers who kind of really keep things going.
Okay.
And so we'll get some people, like when I was really young, like when I was a teenager, I think our local things like the Dallas Observer, for instance, they were really great. Like we had these printouts that were like your CD stores, and then we had great CD stores. Like I don't know for sure 100% how it breaks down, but I think the current owner of the Granada Theater here off Greenville Avenue, I think his start, Mike Schroeder or Schrader.
I know that name.
Yeah, I don't know him, so I could
name.
be wrong about his history. I don't know him well. But I think he ran like the CD warehouse that was on Greenville Avenue over there. But anyway, point was you had these spots where you could like drop in.
Yeah.
There would be like a local section with CDs you could kick through, and there'd be an observer where you could check out the concerts. And they were really active on kind of keeping up the hype of shows and things that were happening.
Yeah.
Radio was big. So we had great local radio stations. We had like the Eagle, the Edge. We had a couple different channels that you could hear local artists. We might have like a Thursday night or a Sunday night local show on the radio. And that's where, and then one of our local radio stations, they had a festival every year. It was Edge Fest.
Okay.
So you'd bring in your touring acts. It was like a multi-stage thing, but then you'd also had stages for your locals. And so, yeah, I felt like you had these tastemakers that really, and so you'd have a class come through of these musicians and bands that were really talented. Yeah. Because I don't know, maybe you can speak to it, but I think if you set the bar for people, they want to kind of go for it. If you're like, hey, we got these stages you can play on, we got this. If there's these opportunities.
The stages are here. Like, that's the thing. And
but I think they feel like there's not opportunities sometimes, like, because who's at the stage?
Right.
Whereas I think when they saw like, oh, hey, the Sunday night, what was his name? Mark on the radio for the Edge, who does the local show. Okay. He's going to be there. He might put us on this thing. Like these little moments that you think might help. Yeah. And then I think what happens is people realize music's hard.
It's hard.
It's so whether you're a show producer, whether you're the observer, whether you're an editor writing about things, whether you're a band making things, a sound guy, a club owner, you'll get this spark of joy where things are going really good. And then if the ecosystem starts to suffer, I think everybody feels like, oh God, it's going down. We're burnt out. I'm not making any money. And like, I guess I'll go get a job. Like, and then it kind of dips. And then I think you get a new wave of people who are excited and motivated. You get some new show producers. So I think we just kind of do that. And I feel like maybe we're getting near the upswing of something fun here, because I think there's a lot of interesting people dipping their hands in our scene, which I like. It's like, I want to shake it up. I want all sorts of genres and styles coming in. And I want people pushing records and helping people record any way they can. So within that, like talking about the Dallas-Fort Worth thing, I think it's very much like you and your brothers, you know, y'all talk shit about each other, but nobody else is gonna, right?
Yeah.
So like Dallas, Fort Worth, Denton, they beef unless you're not from here, and then they're like,
Right.
oh no, Denton's an incredible scene,
Right,
Fort Worth's
right.
incredible scene.
And that's the thing. They're all really great scenes,
Yep.
and it's almost like you want to tell bands coming from out of town, like you could basically do 3 shows while in this part of North Texas. Like you can do a Tulips in Fort Worth, and then a Kessler in Dallas, and then a Dance Silverleaf in Denton, and most likely the people from those towns. You're not going to intertwine crowds.
Nope.
Because they don't like to travel 30 minutes. People out here will fall madly in love with someone in 35 miles away, and they'll be like, oh, I just can't make it.
Yeah, man, what am I going to go down I-30
like,
every day?
I'm sorry, I can't.
Drive by that Six Flags
sorry,
traffic?
Like, this love is just not real. I it's weird to me, but you can have that. I feel like you can have that kind of thing. I think I was talking with Robert Ellis about this when we went and did a KXT in studio thing, and it was like, how do you make that happen where those clubs don't, because sometimes they have like, oh, if you can't play within these many miles within the
radius clause,
right?
yeah,
The radius clause, right? And so, how do you wipe that out so that you could tell a band like you can legitimately play Fort Worth, East Dallas, and Denton?
Oh, big time,
back to back to back.
Well, because just
and
Dallas,
you'll have a different crowd every night. You'll be able to really have people out to each one,
and they'll be happy. Like the Fort Worth people will be happy that they didn't have to drive to Dallas to see you.
Yes.
And
Yes.
there's, I think, Dallas Fort Worth only, not even including Denton. I think we're getting up to like 8 million people here now.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you're talking about let's say 2,000 seat venues.
Yeah. It's a lot of people.
All
here,
right,
man.
the numbers are pretty good.
A lot of people.
Yeah,
Here,
and actually, you're making me feel so vindicated because a band I was in like 15 years ago or something. That was the hill I was dying on with them. So we had made an album. I was new to the band. They had done an album before me. They brought me in as a guitar player and a backup vocalist.
Okay.
It was like an indie rock band, and we wrote this record together. I thought it was great. And they were wanting to do like a release show, like a big release show in Dallas.
Okay.
And I was saying like, no, let's not put all our eggs in one basket. I don't think we
Right.
need to do that. Let's do Dallas, Fort Worth, Denton.
I love
Exact
that.
thing. And I was like, and
I
we're
love
going to do
it.
3 release shows.
I love it.
And, I remember somebody wrote an article about it and was like, something along the lines of like a weirdly ambitious release thing. Like who does 3 shows? Like who do they think they are?
That's fantastic.
But what happened was we wanted to try to push these CDs. We could still push CDs, We wanted to try to push as many as we can right at the front, make a little bit of money to get things going. And I think over 3 weeks we sold with those 3 shows, we sold over 500 CDs right off the jump.
That's cool.
And so it was like, okay, people like it. And each show, huge audience. It was perfect.
Yeah.
And
it's in their backyard. They don't have to go. They really don't have to go anywhere.
yeah, and there were so many people who were like, "Oh, you're doing one here, great."
Yeah. Exactly.
And
exactly.
It just felt like it was better. And then each one just had a different feel. Like the leader of the band, the singer, the songwriter, he could do a different set list for each one to kind of cater it to that
they
vibe.
they're different scenes. They are different cities. They are different little towns, whatever you want to call it. But no, I mean, obviously, if you're a big band, then these people are going to travel, right? They're going to go to the Bomb Factory and check out that show, or to I don't know, a Dickies or something.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of bigger
But even
venues.
that, what you just said, right? It's like Dickies is in Fort Worth, Bomb Factories is in Dallas.
Sure.
You could
Sure.
do both. And these crowds, I think you would sell it.
If you can sell those out, then because the bands that play those venues are what are those venues like?
I would think
2,000?
Yeah, I was going to say I think it's probably between 2 and 5, right?
Yeah, if it's 5, that's a big,
Well,
that's
the
a big
big one
number.
in Grand Prairie, whatever they're calling it these days by the horse track.
To do a
I
back
think that's
to back,
6,000.
like a night here and a night there.
Depending on who you are, though.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I was saying the small, and they're still phenomenal venues. They're beautiful venues that you could like for real touring acts that aren't just going on these world tours, but are just startup musicians or middle of the road musicians that want to come through this town. It's you can do 3 in a row. You can hit this spot. You don't have to go just from Austin to Oklahoma City.
When I was going to say, that's not even including, Austin, San Antonio, Houston.
Yeah.
If you want to try to just make this run, you can do that.
You can.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about this, like this, what I don't even know what you would call it. They say it's
we need
North
a good
Texas
name for
or something.
Yeah.
But it's those three that I consider to be home. Like I don't think of any one of them as not being my home. I love all three of those spots since I've moved out here. That I could find places that are like.
How long have you been here now?
8 years.
8 years. All right. So you're officially a Texan.
I don't think that's
You're a
going to
New Yorker.
happen.
No, you're
for
a New
me,
Yorker,
man.
but-
I'm a New Yorker for life.
I'm not saying you're not a New Yorker. I'm
like-
saying you got dual citizenship.
Yeah,
now.
the accent won't go away. It's
No.
not. I moved here too late in life, but I love it here. I do love it. I really do love it. And I love the music scene. I do. It's just different. It's just different, and I don't feel like I'm allowed to like try and kumbaya the shit. Like I gotta I obviously don't know enough about it, and so when I come out here and say things like this, I probably just sound like I'm.
Well, I think you're
not
close.
really.
And I don't think many of us have an answer, right? I think there's a bunch of us here that feel the same way, but they don't know how to fix it. Or not even that it needs to be fixed, but like, how do we stoke the embers,
Yeah.
Because
how do you really make this really big music scene? Because I feel like
the talent's
it can
here.
be. The talent's here.
The venues are here.
The venues are here. The people are here. Like there's people here. Like,
what I've heard from a lot of people from out of
so
town.
how does that happen?
What I've heard from a lot of people from out of town is we're very spoiled with the volume of venues that we have. Like we almost don't realize, like we have a lot of different little pockets of good venues.
Yeah.
You can go to, well, like we said, we've got Greenville Avenue over here in East Dallas. Then we've got Deep Ellum.
Yeah.
You've got Denton. There's where else we got to spread out? There are little venues like in the mid cities areas. I don't know them well.
Sure.
And then you've got the Fort Worth venues over there too. And some of these stages. Have you got to play Tulips yet?
I love Tulips. I just played there on Saturday.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Literally just
Maybe
play,
that's why it's on
I'm
my
playing
mind.
there in another. that place is up the block. Like I walk there on the regular.
Well, do you know what I mean?
That's
Like
home.
the room, the sound.
Their sound is fantastic.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and I've been lucky enough to play the Castle. That sound is absurd.
There you go. Another little Dallas pocket neighborhood venue.
Oh my God, gorgeous.
Somebody told me recently that the
sound is
Ketzler was
phenomenal.
no longer doing music, and I was like, I don't think you have bad information.
That's not true.
I was like,
That
what are you
can't-
talking about?
That
That's like-
can't be true.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, but I feel like that can't be true.
No, I think
That
everyone
can't
would
be true.
revolt.
Yeah.
But what
the
I think,
the Granada's phenomenal. Like it's
and again, they each have their different flavor and
Yeah.
philosophy of how they run,
Yeah.
and it's just fun.
Yeah.
But my instincts say that we're missing. I always like to say we're missing a few rungs on the ladder. So if you're a band, you've got great music, you know how to make an album, you know how to get in the studio, and you know how to play live shows. But then the steps between that and then making it whatever that is for you, the steps between there are very vague. Like I don't know that we have a lot of good bookers here or managers or people who can kind of guide you to the next step. Like, hey man, I think you're ready for this. Let's get you on the road with these people.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of people attempting to do that.
Yeah.
For instance, in your situation, like Mr. Skin Wade.
Oh, sure. He's phenomenal.
So
He's
like I said,
phenomenal.
guys like him,
Yeah.
I think are, making their moves. But again, it's like we need, 10, 15 more of those who are willing to put their money where their mouth is and believe in people and work on stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It might be the promotion side of it, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went and saw a show at Deep Ellum Art Co. I love that place.
Great venue.
Love that fucking place.
Mm-hmm.
I love that place. I love the owner. I love that place. And it was a really great artist that I know well. Like, and I think there might have been like 10 people in the crowd.
Yeah.
And I mean, this guy will go and sell out London.
Mm-hmm.
He'll go sell out fucking Manchester. He'll go do a tour all over and sell it out. Be in LA selling it out. And for some reason, and I was just like, that has to be a promotion thing.
Yeah, I'm a little more critical of that. I put blame personally on everyone, and I'm sorry, I don't want to like burn a bridge. But what I mean is,
no.
What I mean is,
you're not burning a bridge with me.
no, not with you. I just mean like people around town.
No, of course, no.
Whatever. I don't hold any clout, but
No, it's all right. And everyone's wonderful, to be honest with you.
Well,
Just trying to figure it out.
everyone is wonderful.
Just
but
trying to figure it out. How
Okay,
to make
look,
it bigger.
you
and
work
better.
in an artistic field, all right? you've been around countless artists in your life, right?
Yeah.
What I feel like I've noticed is these are people who got into something like this because they don't want to be in a field where they're like breaking their back every day. It's like they like writing music and playing music and performing. They're artists.
Yeah.
And when the reality of how much work it takes to get your stuff listened to, to get people to come to your shows, that business side that you have to do, I think a lot of people make a really good run at it where they're like, I'm going to work the hardest I've ever worked. And they probably truly are. But the reality is it's like, hey, I know you're working the hardest you've ever worked, but it's still not enough. You got to go even harder. And I think when you tell them that, it's very insulting, and it's also a little defeating of like, this is the hardest I've ever worked. And you're telling me it's not good enough?
It is defeating.
Yes, and it's like
for some people.
Yeah,
for some people, for sure. I know people like that are like, I can't believe I have to be a content creator now on top of being a musician. Like, why is that the case? I have people who will do the same thing, like you were saying, like the Schaldas have 1.4 million monthly listeners on Spotify. We have like 4,000 followers on Instagram. Like, where's the disconnect there? Why none of this makes sense? Like, make it make sense to me. Then I know there are artists out here who have 2 million Instagram followers, but they have 20,000 monthly listeners.
Yeah.
What, where, how, and then why? But I think at the bottom line should be like, who the fuck cares, man? Like, do it because you love it. Like, please tell me you're not doing it for any of this stuff. None of it means it means nothing. Like, just do the music because you love doing the music.
Yeah.
Like, that's really it at the end of the day. There is no money in music. There is none. Like, if you don't know that by now, and you're getting into it to make money, okay, then go and do your thing. But do
you like your dad? Go to law school first.
Most of, and then have kids who get you involved, and hopefully we'll be like, do this, Pop, come and sing with us again.
Well, I think what people should focus on, the social media stuff's a grind, right? And that's not. It can be personal, but for most people, it's a grind, right? But what I think they're forgetting is there are a lot of people here, any scene you go to, they love going to live shows and they want to experience that. But a lot of times they just don't know. They don't know these local bands. They don't know people that are in music to tell them about shows. They don't know where to find it, right? Because they're all working jobs. They got their families. They've got their distractions. But I think if people really think about what would be an in-person connection I can make, like a lot of these musicians are too cool to ever talk about being a musician other than on stage because they're embarrassed of like, I don't want to be telling people I'm doing this.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like in the real world. And it's like, when really you should probably be chatting people up here and there in a genuine way. Yeah. Like you should be interested in people. And then when they're interested in you and you get to tell them like, actually, we have this show. You guys want to come? We'll put you down. Like, what do you got? Like 4 people? We'll put you on the list. I think that type of connection, that is what's going to bring it all back in terms of like a healthy scene, because it shouldn't be about plays, followers, like you said. It should be about these people go back to work on Monday and are like, man, we saw this incredible show. Yeah. And some of the people who do that really well, like I have a lot of stand-up comics on this podcast, they get to do that really well because when their shows are done, they don't really have big merch tables and stuff. They get to go just hang out in the front, and people are coming by like, "Oh, I loved your set, I loved your set." And then they meet them, they talk to them, chat them up, and they're. But it's actually genuine. Like they're talking to these people, they really want to know them. I think if people can find ways to get those kind of genuine connections, all of a sudden, I think the tickets start selling a little quicker because now they're more invested in you because they know you're like a real person. Yeah. You're not just another ad scrolling through their phone.
Yeah, well, you can hear that in comedy too. Like, comedians, like everything's like real life stuff, and so people like we all can connect with that. Mm-hmm. The music, it's a little different. Like it could be a mood, it could be a whole other. It could be a topic that you just completely don't want to talk about. Like it could be a topic that actually makes you shy away from. Actually, you connect with it, but it makes you shy away from wanting to be outgoing or like even communicate about that. Maybe you don't want people to know you're going through whatever that person was singing about and going through. But yeah, I mean, it's just about connection. At the end of the day, it's about connection and just how we make that happen. And I don't know.
Another thing I think would help a lot is if you are just a listener of music, okay, you're not a performer. If you just love music right now and you're listening to this podcast, you should just send more music to your friends and just take
that for sure.
Take a risk. You
Yeah.
know, like I just had this hip hop guy in here, Roger D. He wrote this incredible album that was all spurred on by his father passing away. And so it's all themed around his father and how he was really struggling with his father's death and everything. And, I'm fortunate my father's still around. So I can appreciate how great the album is, but it's just not going to ever hit me the same until probably he passes.
Yeah.
But it's like, my couple friends where their dads have passed, it's like, oh, yeah, you're getting this album. It's like, hey, man, I don't know if you're going to love this or not, but you should check it out.
Well, sharing music is amazing. I
gotta
have
do
some
it.
friends that really are great at that, like that are just always like, yo, Paul, check this out. I'm not the best at that. I'll be honest. I'm not the best at that. I just don't listen to as much music as I probably should. But I do have some friends that are always like, man, check this out. Or I know that they're always telling other people like, hey, have you heard this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? And I think that's really cool, man.
Because, back in the day, we would be like swapping CDs and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, how much great music did you get because your buddy threw you a CD?
Yeah. There's just so much music now.
Yeah.
It's there.
It's great. It's a double edge.
Yeah, it is a double edge.
But, for a person like me, it's like, I don't remember how I stumbled upon your album, but it's like now I have it.
I'm glad.
So, I don't even know where I find music anymore, but it just somehow my algorithm's working where things are coming my way.
Yeah, coming your way, right?
And I really like it.
Yeah.
But
that's pretty cool, man.
Well, knowing like all the stuff you said, right?
Yeah.
You can't make a buck. It's so hard. All this stuff's difficult.
Yeah.
Well, what keeps you wanting to make this album?
I love doing it. I'll do it for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like I will do it for the rest of my life. I'll do it the same way that my father did it, and he had given it up more than I will ever give it up, because he really did put the guitar down and he stopped for 20, 30 years or something like that. Like he stopped, maybe more. I would say more. I'd say probably closer to 40 years. He probably stopped. And I won't do that. I know that's why I have a 9-to-5 job. I have kids that I'm raising that I need to have health benefits available for them, and I need to have stability. So I knew that before my first daughter was born, that this is something I wasn't going to do. I was touring with Charles 10 months out of the year, and I knew once Charlie was born, my firstborn daughter, that I was going to be home, that I was going to not do that because I never felt like it was going to be the end of me doing music. Mm-hmm. It never felt like, oh, I am giving up music. I never did music for that in the first place. Like, to be a career. Like, again, I don't know. I'm not a good guitarist. Like, I love singing. I will sing no matter what. Like, that will never stop. Like, it will never stop. And I truly believe everybody should. I say this all the time. I think it doesn't matter if you sing out of key, if you don't know the fucking words, do it. Like, just do it. Do it in your car. Do it in the shower. Do it. Like, it is just such a great thing for you. Like, I truly believe that. I think it's amazing. So I'll never stop. So that's like, I don't feel like I had ever, like, me doing what I'm doing now, that there's no money in it. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be touring or well known. Like, that's not success to me, man. Like, that's just not. I don't know. It's just not.
So what's your version? Just writing good songs, putting it out?
Hanging out.
There you go.
Playing music, man. Like, connecting with my kids and my father. Like, that's success. Like, hanging out with my pop and singing some fucking songs. Like, that's cool. Whether we have 2 followers on it or not. Like, I don't, whether we put out a record or not. Like, like, that's why I do it. I don't do it for any other reason. And then to be able to have that stuff is just amazing, right? Like, how grateful. Like, I am so grateful. I understand that so many people don't have that opportunity, and I do. And I truly hope that people can see how grateful I am for it. I don't take it for granted. But at the end of the day, it's not why I do it. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd be lying if I said, I will do it forever. That's
beautiful. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
That's, so many of the bands that I've talked to on this show, off the show, because there's a lot of talent around here where they'll make, 2 albums over the course of, 4 years. And look, that's a ton of work, right? I've been in bands. It's like, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Band practices.
It could cost a lot of
writing,
money too.
Yeah. We're talking about, you probably invested as a band, you probably invested at least like 20 or 30 grand over those 4 years. It's serious money.
Easy.
Not including like.
Easy. That's lowball.
I was going to say, not including like the instruments, cables, picks, strings, all the nonsense, a rehearsal space, whatever you had to do, all the things.
All of it. All the things.
I had to hire a photographer for this thing. We're trying to make it, in 4 years of burning money and time, and they don't make it, but you're trying to remind them like, but it's so good, man. It's like when you're at the show and all these people are happy, it's like, wasn't that the real reason?
Sure, that connection.
And it's like, if you could just hold on to that, as long as you're not going broke and you're not wrecking your personal
and don't
life.
forget how it makes you feel
Thank you.
about you. Like how it makes you feel, like just in general. Like, I mean, I don't want to take away from like having that connection with someone else. And man, how cool if you could actually connect with someone else. The things that you were saying, connect with somebody else, amazing. But like, do it for you. Do it for you first and foremost. I don't know. I mean, if you want.
There's a saying about Dallas where have you heard like keep Austin weird?
Sure.
They used to say
that Portland too, right? They say that about Portland
probably.
too.
Yeah, I think a couple people have it and they all think it's original, right?
Right.
But what they say about Dallas is usually keep Dallas plastic.
Oh,
because it's like we got a bunch of money here. We got a bunch of cowboy Cadillacs running around.
It's a business. It's a business city.
So
it is, man.
Imagine some of these neighborhoods around here where the money's flowing. And you're wanting to be an artist, but you're just seeing big houses, expensive cars, and it's like it's a lot easier to feel like you're behind, even though you're not behind anything. Those people are just very ahead, but you're not behind.
Yeah, and then not ahead in like that's
it's ahead in money.
That's a different kind of money. Like that's Dallas is a business city, so it can lack like inspiration, like and like this like culture and character. Sometimes it can feel that way. But there are those pockets, man. There are places here where it's fucking full of culture. Yeah. And artists and real artists that do it for the love of it. But the big picture, like the way people mainly see it, the way I saw it coming here, was like, this is a business city. Like this isn't an art, like a cultural city. This is a business city. It's all built on big business and money, and that can be the wrong thing for an artist. It doesn't inspire, or it inspires the wrong kind of art. But I don't think that is the case fully. Like it just, but it is, and you try and bring out the real art and culture to mesh with it. You can have both. The beauty of that, if somebody can kind of wrestle it in, is it's like, hey, look, that means there is a lot of money floating around for like beautiful music venues and spaces, and it's like there are wealthy people who love the arts and will spend that money. Sure, but again, it's got to be that we can't have this disconnect. It's like, how do we merge it all together? I mean, well, you're from New York. Yeah. I mean, talk about a business city. Yeah. And then how much art comes out of that town. There's but the culture was there. Like that's a different kind of thing. I feel like.
What do you think feels different about that?
I think just probably the amount of people and the proximity that everybody is on top of each other, where it's like it might feel like there's a lot of money, but that's just because like that's like the world's money, but it's not like there are literally people who are there like I am like a billionaire like living in this gigantic space. Like even if they have a $10 million space, it's like a condo. That's like,
I gotcha.
That's like this, you know what I mean?
You're
like
still forced to be around everybody.
You're just on top of each other, and that's amazing. And then just the history of it, obviously, how long the city's been around. So there's just more history, there's more culture, so there's just more character to it and inspiration to be drawn from. On top of it also being the hub of the world where you get people every single day from all over the world. You know what I mean? Dallas is different. Dallas is like, it's a newer city. It's a phenomenal city, but in terms of New York City and then Dallas, it's like it's
Yeah, in terms of the country,
you know,
we're still a younger city.
A younger city, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so it's in that sense, it's different. And in many ways, obviously, it's different. But
I'll give you a little small example. It's
Yeah.
like when I went up to Boston, we were stuck in some traffic. You know, we're in Boston, and I don't even remember the street or anything, but I was just sitting there. It's like, you know, cars are trying to get through, and it's like, man, these stupid streets. Like, who built the streets this small? You know, and right, right, and then like whoever I was with, they're like, you mean here in Boston? I was like, yeah, like, why would you make it? And they're like, these might have been like some of the first streets ever, you know? And I'm like, sorry.
Right.
No, I'm used to having like, you know,
a lot of space.
Yeah, I'm used to having everything be a 4-lane road down here.
Yep. There you go.
So, you know, those little things that we, like, that was never even in my mind growing up down here.
Yeah.
That you could be in tight spaces like that, and it's never going to change.
Sure.
It's not like you're going to move a couple buildings 10 feet right and left to widen the road, you know?
Yeah, I've been in my apartment in Fort Worth for 4 months now, and I've already gotten 3 noise complaints. And I'm just like, how can you complain? We live in a box. Shut up. Like, what the like, where are you from? Like, have you never lived? Like, stop. Like, I'm like, do I have to complain about the people that I hear walking upstairs every single day?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, of course I'm not going to complain about them. And the woman's like, no, you should complain. I'm like, no, I'm not going to complain. They're living. They're walking. Like, what do you want me to do? But yeah, there's a lot of space here. There's a lot of space. Everything's spread out, and that goes to the point of, you know, it's 35 minutes away. I don't want to go over there, but it's also 35 miles away. That's a lot of space in between these places. Like, that's a lot of space. So I kind of get it to a degree when you look at it that way.
But I also grew up in a small town out here where you had to drive 30, 40 minutes everywhere.
Yeah.
And so it was a part of your daily thing. And so I think people will drive. I still think a lot of them just don't know a lot of these are options, right? Like if we went around tomorrow and just asked 500 people, have you ever been to Tulips in Fort Worth? There'd be a lot of people who've just never heard of that.
Absolutely.
Right? And
Absolutely.
so I think that's one of the biggest problems we have is just an overall education that these are options in your town. That I think a lot of just 9 to 5 people living their lives don't even think about, like, you know what, we could go
there
to a Thursday night concert and just like see what's there.
It takes 35 minutes to get there in the car on really nice roads. Really nice roads.
It's not bad, you know. And so I don't know how a venue helps put the word out. They have enough of their own issues with overhead.
That's what I mean. Like, there's got to be some other sort of promoting going on. Like, I would never ever blame the venues for that. Nor would I blame the artist. It's like there has to be some other sort of, like, and more than just one, like more than just KXT saying, like, when they can have the opportunity to say, hey, there's these shows going on. Well,
what have you seen work in the past, like with all these different bands you've played in? Nothing? No? You don't see anything?
That's what I don't think about that.
Okay.
I don't think about. Again, I haven't. I mean, I remember, like, growing up, you would take flyers and staple them onto the telephone poles all over New York City. I don't know if that worked or not, but that's what we did.
I would always pass out, you know, I'd go hand out flyers.
Record stores.
Yeah, if we were playing a venue, you know, a month from now, I'm going to hit up that venue 3 or 4 times before that month when people are coming out of a show that's even similar and something even close to that genre, and just saying, hey, we're here at
that's
the end
what
of
I remember.
End of the month.
Flyers.
And that worked really well.
Right.
And so it's like,
it was also personal.
I think you can find them. Yeah, because people would be like, well, what is it? And I'd be like, we're this band here. We do this. Blah, blah.
Super personal.
Yeah, no, I'm Travis. Nice to meet you. And there's got to be a modern version of that. I know nobody's going to do flyers. I don't want to do flyers either.
It's all online.
Yeah,
man.
but I think...
and that's really not personal.
No, but...
It's just not.
Maybe it's time for everybody to just get back out on the street and start busking again or something.
Getting out there and going to shows and handing out flyers, printing it out. But then people complain about the trees.
Hey, there's always a catch, man. Well, that's fine. We'll do QR codes on phones and just like scan this.
I saw a band the other day. They actually were selling their merch with a QR code.
There you go.
I was like, not bad. pretty cool. Nobody was behind the thing. It was just a piece of paper. With
Oh,
a
they
QR
weren't even
code.
back there talking?
Weren't even
Oh,
there. Just
no.
Just a QR code.
But again, you were talking about doing it for
I was
yourself.
like, all right, cool, man.
You were talking about
Nice.
you should play music for yourself. You should also be
Oh,
at
yeah.
your merch table for yourself.
all
like
day.
if somebody's wanting a shirt or
All
a
day.
record,
Go
you
meet
should
them.
be psyched
Yeah,
about
go meet
that.
them.
Yeah.
Charles Bradley used to go after the shows and sit there for 2 to 3 hours signing records, meeting people, taking pictures. This is a 65-year-old man who just played an hour and a half long set, busting his ass, and he would go out there after the set and
You know why? Because that's a mature man who
come
knows.
meet the people. Well, he was grateful. He was
Yeah, that's what I'm
grateful.
saying. He
And the
knows that this is a long shot.
The connection was everything.
Mm-hmm.
The connection was everything. That was lifelong fans. Like, you just make that connection with these people. Like, they're forever.
Yeah. Well, and just, in his 60s, it's like, what else would you want to be doing anyway? Like, why wouldn't you go meet these people?
He's tired. He's tired.
Yeah, but wouldn't you? I mean, I can be tired for that. I can be tired, right?
No, man, you're right. Like, he had the energy for that. Like, he did.
Yeah, there's tired, and then there's tired because I hate what I'm doing.
Right. Fair.
Right? It's clocking out of your overtime.
No, he never
shift is
complained.
different. Yeah.
It wasn't like it was a thing. Like, he loved doing it. You're right.
Plus, if you go home and your feet are sore because you just played for a few thousand people, it's like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Right?
That was the coolest thing, man. He was the coolest cat in the world, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What were
he's
some of
the
the
coolest cat in
What were
the
some of the
world,
shining
man.
moments of that part of your career?
Oh my goodness. Oh, geez Louise. We played a show. We played a show at the Vienna Opera House. And we were opening for Bonnie Raitt. And we were walking into the house, the opera house, and we're walking up to the green room. And we're going to set down our outfits and our bags and whatnot, and walking through what I can remember was like a cafeteria, almost like kind of like the kitchen area, like one of the kitchen areas, whatever the kitchen area was. And there was a woman sitting down. She was eating some food, and me and Charles and the bass player, Vince, were walking by, and we're walking through, and this woman's like, "Man, Charles, I'm so glad you're here playing. I'm so excited to see you. I'm so excited." And he looks over at her with a big smile on his face. He's like, "Man, thank you so much. You're going to make it one day. You just keep going. You keep going. I believe in you. I could see it in your eyes." And she smiles this big smile. She's like, "Thank you so much." Right? And she, we turned the corner, and I was like, "Yo, Charles, that was Bonnie Raitt. She made it. We're opening for her." He goes, "That's Bonnie Raitt." And he screams it so loud. She obviously fucking heard. I mean, we just turned the corner. "That's Bonnie." I was just like, oh, shit, man. Dying. Right? So a couple days later, we're playing the Montreux Jazz Festival, and I'm sitting outside. We had just played the night before. And I'm sitting outside, and I'm sipping some coffee, having a smoke, and fucking this woman walks by me with this hat on and glasses. She's like, "You're with Charles Bradley. You guys were great the other night." And I look up, she takes the glasses off, and it was fucking Bonnie Raitt. I was like, "Hey, Bonnie." And she laughed, and she's like, "You guys were great. We've been talking about you since we played 4 days ago. I was like, "Thank you so much, man. That's amazing. That's so cool. You remember me, man." She's like, "You guys were great." He's like, "Please, you're amazing." And she left, and I decided to go take a dip into the lake. And I'm in there, and there's this the woman on the top, like, watching her daughter, like her 6-7-year-old daughter, like, dip her feet in the lake. And all of a sudden, I hear her, she's screaming. It's like, "My daughter fell in the lake, my daughter fell in the lake." And so I'm like, "Oh, shit, all right." I go run to go get this girl, and I could slip on a rock, fall back, crack my head on the rock. All right, whatever. I get up real fast. I see her. She's still in the water. I grab her, and I get her out of the water, and I bring her over to her mom, man, and my head's cracked. And I bring her over to Mom. Mom comes down the little stairs that goes down from the top down to, like, where you can get into the lake and whatever. And so she brings the daughter up there. My friend, a couple of the guys in the band come get me. They're like, "You got to go to the hospital, make sure you you don't have a concussion, blah, blah, blah." While we're on our way there, my friend Chris is like, that when you ran after to go get her, when you slipped up and you fucking drop kicked her further into the water. I said, no fucking way. He said, you just fucking slammed her in the chest. I was like, oh, that's so embarrassing. I'm so sorry. He's like, no, you still got her. He's like, but you kicked her further back into the water. It's like, oh, man.
Yeah, man, when good deeds go wrong, right?
I
was getting ready for you to tell me, like, and then we found out the girl drowning was actually Bonnie. I ran into her again.
Bring it all the way back around.
We just keep running into
there
her.
We go. You're crazy. Anyway, that's just one of the. I mean, there's so many, man. We were hanging out in Australia, playing this place across the street. I was going to say from the Sydney Opera House. It's called The Basement, and we're playing and we're doing our thing. We finished the set, and one of our friends from Australia comes backstage, and she's like, hey, there's this American comedian out back. He wants to come in and meet you. Is that okay? And we're like, yeah, sure, man. American comedian, cool. Fucking door opens up. It's Dave Chappelle.
Oh, my God.
It's Dave Chappelle, American comedian. We're like, really? You couldn't just say it was it's fucking Dave Chappelle. He comes in, man. He goes over to Charles, and he's like, man, Charles, love you, man. Charles is looking up at him like, thank you. But you could tell he has no idea who he is. He has no idea who Dave Chappelle is. Man, it was cool as shit, man. He took us out to Speakeasy Pizzeria. I think it was called Frankie's. So Frank's, it was underneath the club. Mm-hmm. He took us, the whole band, he took us out that night to hang out, bought us pizza. Man, he gave me like 4 packs of American Spirits because I couldn't find them out there. He was like, man, you're from Schalda, man? Fucking Wu-Tang, man. I love Wu-Tang. I was like, yeah, Wu-Tang. Man, it was cool. There are some great stories, man. Very lucky. Very lucky. Very grateful.
See, and that's what a life of love and music can do for you, you know?
You never know.
It's like there's pros and cons with every career.
Yeah, you just don't know, and you do it because you love it, man.
I used to try to control it a lot more, like in my 20s. You know, you think like there's these moves that if I do this, I'll get that, and you know, it's like once I hit my 30s, I kind of realized like it just doesn't work that way. And when I started kind of going with the flow more, you know, for instance, like when we were scheduling this, and it's like, hey, this isn't going to work out. Can we do that? And it's
right.
Yeah. It's like, why would I try to like force this? It's not, you know, like trying to force that would have done, if I, you know, if I really wanted to press you on a date, you might accommodate me, but then we're coming in here with this kind of weird. Like,
no.
I'm not saying you would, but I'm saying somebody like you're coming in now. It's like, you know, this guy said, if I don't do this, we can't, blah, blah.
Right.
And then there's just this weird, where if it's more like, well, there might be a reason that's going to benefit me that we reschedule this. Yeah. Maybe I'll just roll through. And sure enough, it's like when we reschedule, it's like, oh, great. I actually had something come up that this is better for.
Yeah.
I was like, well, all right. Well, thanks, universe.
Yeah.
Like, you know. And once I kind of started going with the flow with it more, it feels like things have opened up way more than they ever did in the past. Yeah. Just understanding like you can't control it.
No.
Do, you know, kind of go with your gut instinct of what feels right.
Yeah.
And it seems to be working out better that way, you know. And
that's great. I wish you the best of luck with all of it, man. Really.
I think more musicians kind of need to find that where, try hard in terms of set a goal or something, but then on the way to the goal, kind of be loose with it.
Yeah.
And just, trust your instincts. You know what feels right. You know what feels wrong. And then, you know, taking a couple chances. Do you remember how you got set up with touring with Charles? I mean, of course you do, but
sure, that all came through working with Tommy. Like I said, so we were doing that record. Tommy was producing my solo record, and Pop and Will had always played with me, and then we sang on this one song, and then he asked me to sing with Charles, and then eventually he's like, man, why don't you go on the road with him? We need a backing vocalist.
So when that comes up, are you thinking, oh, dream opportunity, or this isn't something I've ever thought about doing, or? No,
I was like, man, will it be? I told him straight up, because I was looking, I was myself looking to go to law school. Like I was working as a paralegal in Long Island City on Northern Boulevard. And when he offered it, I was just like, man, is it going to be steady? I was like, you know, brother, because I'm looking to do this other thing, and I can't, you know, if it's like for a week, like I can't quit my job. I can't quit this job. Like this is kind of something I'm looking to like further move up in and stuff like that. I was like, but if it's something where it's like I'm in it until it's done, I was like, I'll take this ride for sure. Like this sounds like fun. Like my office job will be there when I get back, like, or another one will be. You know what I mean? But and he's like, no, you're in. Like like you sing on the records. Like come do this. Like I think you'll be great with it. And so that's how it started. That's kind of how it went.
How long was that run?
4 years.
4 years.
Until Charlie, until Charlie was, and then once Charlie came along, I knew I wasn't going to be on. I couldn't do that. And it gets to you, you know what I mean? Like touring is a lot, man. It's a lot. It's
4
a lot.
years is a long time.
It's just it is wonderful as it can be.
How many shows a year were y'all doing?
I don't. It was a lot.
Hundreds.
They had him working, man.
Yeah.
They had him working. Like they really did. Like it was 10 months out of the year, like basically. Like they had him working, man. It was great. It was a great ride, man. It really was a great ride. Like I'm very, very grateful for that. It was a tremendous time in my life.
And that style of music, touring that much, I don't need a specific number, but like the guys in the band, the guys doing all this backup work, like what kind of living are they making? Like what's a range of like, can you support yourself and a family, or are you always kind of feel like you're touring? How
it really depends,
because he's clearly taking the lion's share. He's the artist. I get that.
Yeah.
But
no, it just depends on what you would be comfortable with and what kind of partner you have and what like how you've worked that out with your partner and the kids and stuff like that. But sure, you can afford to make that happen for sure.
Because I think a lot of people feel like you go see a big act like that, you just assume all these guys in the band are making like big bucks.
I don't think it's big bucks, but I don't think it's. I mean, I think you would probably make the same working an entry level standard gig. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but again, you're gone
10
months out of the year. You know what I mean? Like to really make that kind of money enough like that, and then you also have to supply your own health benefits.
Yeah.
There's just
no paid time off.
The stability. There's
stuff,
just no stability to it. Like there just isn't. Like you have to be out there working to make that, and you're constantly like, "Am I going to be able to do that at the same city in 15 months? Like, will they take me back there, and will I be able to do it? Maybe it's even bigger next time." But it's just a different mindset. Than just being like, I'm fucking, I got to go to my 9 to 5. Like, this shit's steady.
Yeah,
like I'm
yeah.
Like I'm
well,
good.
that's autopilot, right?
It's autopilot, baby. And then I get to go do my music stuff whenever I want and not have to worry about it ever providing a check for me. And being now I don't have to stress about it. Like I truly do it for the love of it.
See, and that is the beauty of the social media era of it all is you could, from here, build you a following elsewhere. It's still just as difficult as it's ever been, but the options are there. Whereas in the past, it's like if you didn't go to that town,
right,
it's never going to happen.
Or if you didn't contact some radio station, usually it was the college radio stations out there that hopefully they would spin your record that, it would get out there, and the record stores. And, there was something to that too, where people were really like, oh, shit, I found this through the thing. They're from there, and I know they're coming into town now. Now it's like, oh, all right, I checked it on my thing. They're not as cool as I thought. Like, all right, whatever, gone.
Yeah.
It's however you look at it. I don't know. I don't well, try not to think about like the industry and the thing. Like that's just not why I
well, talking about that side of it a little more though, I mean, what made you want to work with the people that you've worked with in Texas here?
Skin reached out to me when I first was looking to do music out here. He was a fan of the Paul and the Tall Tree stuff, the records that I came out, and I was a fan of his because I've been watching the Mavs from New York City because I was a fan of them since that finals in 06, the fix 06, man, that was some bullshit. And it made me angry. I thought I was watching wrestling. I really did. As an NBA fan, as a big NBA fan, and I didn't like the Mavs, and I didn't like Miami either. I just liked good basketball. Yeah. And I was like, oh man, this Mavs team's good. This kid Nowitzki's fucking ridiculous. And Avery Johnson was badass. Was he coaching then? It was Avery Johnson. Was it? No. Was Avery Johnson? Avery Johnson was
don't catch me lying because I played basketball growing up and I love all my local teams but I was definitely big bandwagon on those runs because I was sitting here trying. I didn't even realize how huge Dirk was, to the country in a sense of he's great, right? But it wasn't until we went to somebody's wedding up northeast somewhere and they were talking about Dirk and I was like, oh, you guys. You know about Dirk?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, everybody knows about
Yeah,
Dirk.
yeah.
No, I just remember, that was when we had JJ Barea, Dirk, who was the guy? Jet, Terry.
This is when you won in 11.
That's where I was really paying attention.
Yeah,
Like
no,
everybody
that's a
around here
big
was.
one. Yeah, no, the 06 one.
I don't remember who was coaching then.
06 was Devin Harris was there, and Josh Howard, and Diop or something.
I don't remember that.
Anyway, they lost. They shouldn't have lost. Anyway, and that made me upset. So, long story short, when I moved here, Skin had reached out because he knew the music. I had sent it to Will at Josie Records, and he sent it to Skin. Skin hit me up and was like, "Yo, I know this guy Adrian out here who lives in Austin. You get along with. He's just starting a band called the Black Pumas." And I was like, "Man, I know you. Like, I know you're like I've been watching you, man. That's cool." So we linked up. And I mean, it's literally like how the energies
when you say
just
you were
work
sending
together.
stuff to Josie Records, like you were just sending some vinyls to sell or something. What do you mean?
I walked in with the records to be like, hey, I want to start playing out here. If you can, like, here, take a listen, and if you know like-minded musicians and you can give it to them, please give them the record, and just. It has my contact on it. I would love to start playing out, and I don't know musicians out here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Is this something you had done before? That kind of approach of.
No, I grew up in New York City all my life. I had a tremendous roster of musicians that I never, ever had to worry about. I built up through my whole life.
So what made you think that was the move here? Like, were you...
Well, I just wanted to start playing music.
Yeah.
And I didn't know any musicians.
So you just thought I'll go to record stores?
Sure. I figured that's the best, like that's the way to go. Like give them some records and they gotta know other musicians. Mm-hmm. So that was my first thought to do it that way.
How was the reception to that? Were they? I know we go to Josie Records. We know it's a great place, but
yeah.
Were they like, oh, cool, we'll give it a listen?
Oh, Will knew who it was, or like knew the label that I was on. Nice. Like he was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard your record, but I know the label for sure. I've heard a bunch of records on the label. I love the label. Yeah, of course, I'll give it. Yeah, I'll hook. Yeah, I got you. I'll hook you up.
So the record that I produced that we were talking about earlier, they were the same way with me. I don't know if they even knew this band, but I was like, hey man, this is a local thing. Would love to put it on the shelves. And they're like, yeah, we'll take this many copies. I was like,
that's
really
cool.
That's it? And they're like, yeah. We'll put it over here in this section.
Yeah.
And, if they move,
that's really cool.
And I was like, fuck yeah. So it's really nice to hear that other people are having that experience because, again, talking about like local scene, I think a lot of people don't realize that's an option, is that you could just walk into record stores and talk to people, and these people are immersed in our scene.
Oh, they love that.
These are music. These are music nerds.
I think they love that. I hope they love that. I don't want to like. Push
I think
more.
if you sell vinyl records for a living, you got to love music on a deeper level than the average person, and so you're open to it. Now, if you're a band going in there, an artist, you also got to be prepared that they may not be into it,
right?
And that's all. That's all good,
right? They might be tired of having people come in and do that.
It could have been a long day.
I don't think that would be, and I don't think that would be the owners of the shops. I think it'd be more some of the employees of the shops who are just.
But there's something to be said about that kind of a hustle of like, well, nobody's going to do it for me,
right?
Let's just pop in there and see what's up. Worst thing that's going to happen is I'm going to be right here, still not knowing people in the music scene.
Exactly.
So, so that's how Skin got word that.
So
you were
that's
in
how,
town?
So that's how Skin got word of it, and then we became really close. Like he's family. Like he's my he's like my brother, man. He really is. Like we work together on everything now.
Yeah,
on everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's a good mover and shaker out here.
Yeah, I didn't realize that he had his hand in all of the things that he had his hand in.
I don't even know all the stuff he's doing.
It's impressive that any human being would have that kind of time or determination, memory to remember everybody you're speaking to, but also just, it's special. I don't know anybody that works that hard in that many different fields.
And that's not including all the random stuff he does. We went to a minor league baseball game because Jack White is invested in a baseball bat company here,
right? Yep.
Warstick.
Yep, Warstick.
And Jack White, he loves baseball, a lot, and so he decided I'm going to put a baseball team together, and we're going to play like some minor league baseball to promote the company. And then we go to watch the game because it's this free game that you can go see Jack White play baseball. And it's like, all right, we'll check that out.
Yeah, of course.
And he's got his because he's in town for a show, but he's got his touring band. They've set up like a keyboard on the sideline, and they're doing like the bump, 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 bump. They're playing all the music.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But meanwhile, Skin's over there like DJing, like, talking about the lineup and, cracking his little like up the bat, Jack White, amateur musician,
he was doing the commentator?
Yeah, whatever, his bullshit.
Fantastic.
And so it's like that's not even the paid gig probably. That's just something fun.
It's out of love.
I don't know, maybe the radio station had
love.
a deal with it, but I don't know.
I don't know. Either.
And but that's
impressive.
That's the kind of person I'm talking about. And I don't know him. I've never really met him or anything, but I think that's what we got to find. Is like, you don't do that unless you really love it.
Right.
He has a passion for music.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's
absolutely.
Otherwise, there's way better ways you could be spending your money and your time.
100%.
But it takes 100%. Those people to move the needle forward in these scenes.
Yeah, 100%. Like they do it out of the love of it, of doing it. Like they really do. Like that label and just him in general. I think anything that he puts his word into.
Yeah.
He truly believes in it, and that's special. That's special. That's nice.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he continues to do.
Yeah,
especially now that they've got their new Rollertown space.
Yeah, place is nice. Have you been yet?
I haven't seen the new one yet.
Oh, so it's excellent.
I was literally just down the street. There's a theater called the Knack Theater that we recorded a stand-up comedy special.
Okay.
And that was something I was producing. It's coming out April 6th.
Nice.
But literally down the street. But by the time we got packed up and closed up, I was like, dude, I'm beat. But my plan was to go check it out because when I drove by it, I was like, oh my God, it's massive.
Nice.
It's massive because I went to
it's wonderful.
Did you ever see the original location in Salina?
I was there all the time.
Okay, yeah. So to know what it started as and to now what it's become, it's like, and in a relatively short time. To go from a warehouse
5 years
brewery to this massive complex.
2020 is when they opened it up because I remember we had to wear a mask to go get our first round of beers there. Yeah.
And just knowing the millions of dollars that goes into opening up a space like that, the risk you're taking.
It's gorgeous, though.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Like the outdoor space, they have a beautiful stage. It's right by the football field, you know what I mean? Like where they're going to have the World Cup. Like it's going to be
one more venue that these artists need to tour through.
Amazing.
Now it's Denton, Frisco, Dallas.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Frisco people will go at least to Dallas, but you're right, they won't.
If you could just go to Frisco, though, they'd rather go to Frisco.
Sure.
Because here in Dallas, I'm a Dallas snob. Like, if I go north of 635, I'm like, Jesus, I'm going to Oklahoma. What is this, I'll go to Frisco. But, like, the guy that I produced the comedy special for, Michael Pasvar, he lives in Frisco.
Okay.
And we went up there to just video, like, an intro and stuff for it. And, it's like, on the drive there, I was like, God. And it's like, this is somebody I want to work with.
Yep. This is a part
of
the issue.
I'm guilty.
And like I said, issue here, man.
I grew up in this small town making these drives.
It's cool.
So I have no real reason to not make the drive.
I mean, smoke a joint, man. Drive on these really nice roads. Like, put on a good record. I guarantee you, by the time you finish the A side, you'll be to where you got to go.
There you go, man. Just sing some songs in the car and enjoy it.
You know what I mean? Like, you're right there.
Well, I'm always curious about when you form these relationships with guys like Skin or record labels in general. Nowadays, especially as an independent artist, when you are dealing with somebody and your music, like, what is the conversation like? What are you hoping someone brings to the table for you where you feel like it's, oh yeah, I definitely want to work with you? Or what are they bringing to you? Are you saying, oh, I didn't think about that. That would help? Or is it, what?
No, it's at this point, like I said, I've worked with so many tremendous musicians and producers in my life. Like, I don't, as long as the vibe is right, like, as long as we're cool, like, musicality, any of that, I don't think none of that comes into play. Like, what kind of style of music, like, none of that comes into play. Like, if we could chill and hang and, like, we're having a good time, let's make some fucking.
So talking about somebody like a producer, like Skin,
anybody, yeah.
So just somebody where you just feel like you're getting the same vibe as them.
I feel like we're on the same page, just in general with life.
Yeah,
with life. Yeah, and then the music stuff we could figure that out.
Really?
Sure, absolutely. I'm open to any of it. Like,
what about that feels right? Like, why does that philosophy work for you?
I just think, again, I've already worked with so many tremendous producers that I love that I think if that's not there, it doesn't matter if you love the same music or not. or if they're the greatest musician in the world. Like if you can't sit down and laugh and joke and talk about your kids or your life or your past or stuff like that, like and see eye to eye and feel like I'm with someone I could trust. You know, like wow, what's again,
Well,
why
so-
do it? Who gives a like what? It's not why I'm doing it. You know, like
Well,
I
in that
wanna-
dynamic, then, you know, as the music's writing and recording, you know, how much of that is being sent to people? Or like, is he blindly going, just make whatever you want, or do people want to have their hands in it?
Oh, so no, he's pretty open. He's man, he lets me do what I want to do. You know what I mean? And then he'll like kind of, hey, what do you think about this kind of thing? But for the most part, the producers I've worked with have been like, no, I'm hearing that. Like, just yeah, let's get some musicians in that could play it the way you're hearing it. Like, is that working for you? Yeah, cool. Like the demos are usually like pretty much there, you know.
Yeah.
But with Skin, he might be like, yo, check out this song from the 70s. Kind of hear that song, kind of feeling like this thing. He's like, obviously not the same thing, but what, like, do you hear that? And I'm like, yeah, you know.
Are y'all doing this in like a studio setting or just like talking to each other
No,
somewhere
this is us just bullshitting.
Yeah.
throughout. Yeah. Once you're in the studio, you're in the
Okay.
like that is money.
Yeah.
That costs money. Like, so we work all that out for the most part before we get into the studio.
Well, that's what I'm asking, because I don't know the nature of y'all's business relationship, but I'm assuming there's some money being fronted for things like that. That's all good. Yeah. Fronted for things like that. And so that's always a scary thing for a lot of musicians is, if these people are pushing the money, are they going to want to be pushing their opinions too much, you know?
Right, sure.
But it doesn't sound like he does that.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. Not at all. Not at all.
He seems cool and chill, and he wants to make this music, and he's fronting money for
It's
it,
phenomenal, yeah.
right?
Yeah. The label, yeah.
Does it cross your mind, like, okay, what do I got to make sure he gets back? Like, do you think about those things?
I do. Every now and then I'll think about it, and then I don't. And then I don't.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like I know that's not why he does this. Mm-hmm. Again, I wouldn't be working with him if I felt like that's who he was.
Yeah.
I know for
So he puts it out there
is-
pretty well that's not really the biggest concern. He just wants to help you make a record.
He believes in the music.
That's awesome.
He believes
but
in
you
the
know, it's like that's the guy you want to make money back on
Like
his record.
he believes, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
I know he doesn't. He probably doesn't.
Of
need
course.
it. He seems to be doing fine.
Of course.
But you know, you want him to always have some money coming in to produce more records. And
Well,
blah blah blah.
I was telling people the other day. I do feel this way. Like when you nowadays in the industry, basically when you go and support a band and you buy their record, you're basically supporting, making sure the label recoups, and if they recoup, you know what that means? They'll put that same amount of money, if not more, into that artist doing a second record. Basically, that's what you're doing when you buy this record. There's no money going in the pocket. Like the artist isn't going home like, I got some money. Like I'm gonna go buy a house right now because you bought a record, or I sold 2,000 records, 3,000 records.
Yeah.
What you're doing with that is saying, label, you just made your money back, right? Maybe you've got an extra $2,000, right? If after all expenses on what it costs to manufacture, to record, to promote, all this stuff. Mm-hmm. Basically what you're doing is you're saying, hey, we made our money back. Let's do a second record. Like you're just helping to move along the artist's career. Like in that, you're helping them build that thing. Mm-hmm. But really, that's how it feels to me. Like that is how it feels to me. Like the money's not there. You got to do it because you love it, and that's both on the label side and the musician side.
Yeah.
And then if you do make money, cool. Like most likely, those labels are doing what I just said they're doing with it. If they actually make money with it, they're saying, "Hey, we're going to invest in another artist that we believe in. We might not make a fucking penny from them. That's not why we're doing it."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know a very wealthy physician.
Yeah.
Who just they love music.
Yeah.
You know, the most obscure song can come on and they know the lyrics.
Yeah.
And I always joke with them. I'm like, man, you got the money,
Right.
you got the love. I was like, at what point are you like? Because they're at a point in their career they don't even need to work anymore. And
Yeah.
you can tell they've made very smart financial decisions while they were making good money. So they're doing the physician work for love of the game at the moment. And I was like, okay, but the retirement plan for you, right? Like, you got to start a label or something. You're the person. You have love and money.
That's the love, and you got to want to do it.
And they just kind of laugh. They're like, "Well," I'm like, but I keep dropping it. I'm like, "Please, man, I think you could be a powerhouse." Yeah, because you know, like they're still going out to concerts on weeknights and all these things. I'm like, you are the person who could, you know, you could sign like 20 bands and make stuff happen in your retirement. And these people would just, you know, the lifeline you'd be throwing to some of these people who have these great ideas, but nobody to back them and believe in them, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm trying to crack that egg.
I mean, I wish you luck.
But I mean, I think that's what it takes, right? Is people who love it, who have made financially wise decisions and could then fund that without it hurting their lifestyle at all.
Right.
That, you know, it takes these kind of crazy,
it is
wealthy
a business
people.
adventure. It is a
like I don't want you to
business.
lose money, but you know you could.
Yeah, absolutely. You know you could. You could. It's got to be some sort of, like you said, they have to have some money. I mean, I guess they would have to have some money to begin with.
You hope.
You know what I mean? So that they're at least probably write it off at the end of the year. You know what I mean?
You need somebody who's wealthy enough to go like a tax guy, right?
Tax write it all off.
Get some of your New York connections down here for us, you know?
Yeah. But anyway, I should probably go home and go to bed. I got a 9 to 5.
Absolutely, man. Hey, I apprate you taking the time.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, man, the record's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. If this comes out before May
it'll be out before
20th, go to jambaloo.live/vote and you can vote for the record.
Okay.
And they've put together this wonderful competition, I guess you're calling it, or something, where the winner gets $20,000.
Okay,
so there you go. We could pay Skin back.
Hey man, we'll push it. I like it.
There you go. Get the money back.
Yeah. So go check out the record. Is the best place to find you just Instagram? Is that where you like to?
Yeah,
do the
you
most
could
stuff?
go to Instagram. The Spotify is probably the best. The best way just to get the music like that you could hear.
And you're selling vinyl too, right?
Of course.
Let's move some vinyls.
Of course, at all the shows they'll be there, and I've got some shows coming up. I'm playing 421 at Tulips and 5-7 at Legacy Hall. And then I've got a tour coming up in September for 2.5, 3 weeks, but
Awesome.
I can't say who that's with yet. But it'll be a lot of fun.
Well, the Tulip show is definitely like
it's a Tuesday night. They're doing a great thing out there. They're doing like a I love that spot. I love
Beautiful.
that spot. That place is like home to me. And they're doing this great thing now. Every Tuesday they're doing $2. You get in. They're always local acts. So you could check out 2 local acts
for $2.
$2 in that sound system. Hang out all night. Like it's really cool what they're trying to do out there. I know it's a Tuesday night.
But that's the show for $2 on a Tuesday.
$2.
That's the one you got to pack out.
$2, man.
All right, we'll work on it.
Yeah.
Well, dude, thank you so much, man.
Thank you
Best
for
of luck
everything.
out there.
Really, thank you.
The I'm a Fan of podcast, music, comedy, and more.